listeners, Dominic Crea here. Hope everybody's doing well. Wish everybody a happy new year. Hopefully you all have a prosperous, happy, and healthy one. I wanted to do a quick episode. This isn't really a topic episode. This is more of something just to kind of introduce my audience to what goes on, and I want to support a fellow content creator who's also my friend. There's a podcast, the Skinny Podcast with Joey Merlino. I'm going to be putting links in this description, and I'll explain what the links are for. This content creator was on the internet, and he was fighting back against a lot of these lying informants. Unfortunately, this individual was a defendant years ago, and he personally had experience with several of these lying informants who are now on YouTube, and he was voicing his rebuttals basically to their lies. Now, he may be colorful in the way he delivers, but if you listen to a lot of these informant shows, they use a lot of language as well, and they tell stories about killing people, all these bad things, but yet what happened was this channel, the Skinny with Joey Merlino podcast, they were actually demonetized and shadow banned. And shadow banned, just to simplify it, your comments aren't really able to be seen. Your material does not get captured by the algorithm. So they kind of try to ice you out on YouTube. And what's amazing to me is the Skinny with Joey Merlino podcast only been going on for about 5 weeks, and right away they demonetize and they shadow ban. Yet all of these informants been on for years and years, telling all these stories, stabbing people, killing people, talking tough, threatening families, threatening defendants, making fun of defendants. They're not shadow banned. They have their monetization. They're able to make money on it. Now, Joey isn't doing this to make money. I'm friends with Joey, and that's not the motivating factor here. The problem is you can't look to silence somebody when they're just trying to voice their opinion, make a few dollars, build their channel, and reinvest that money to do good. As many people noticed who follow this content creator, he gives a lot of money away. He buys turkeys during Thanksgiving. I was watching the other day, he gave some dog rescue, $10,000. He gave some soldier, a veteran, he gave him, I believe, $15,000. So you're talking a lot of money here. He raised $70,000. So I really doubt the monetization of YouTube has anything to do with this decision. It's a matter of free speech. They're trying to tell him he can't use certain language, he can't curse. I mean, if somebody has a style, it's amazing how YouTube looks to just use any excuse possible to demonetize them and shadow ban them. And that's one thing I knew I was getting into when I started this. I knew I'd be getting attacked by the rats and those who were against me and the supporters of the informants and the family. I get that. I knew what I signed up for. And I knew YouTube would then have to deal with that. So right away, I made a decision. I wasn't going to monetize and wasn't going to do anything because I wanted to remove that weapon that they had. I know they would always use that, whether or not, if I want to promote my stuff and things and whatnot, they'd always use the monetization to kind of limit me and handcuff me. So when you don't monetize, they can't really do that. You could do what they want. I'm sure my channel's been reported many times, but I never once got one email because I'm not monetized. So there's really nothing they could strike. I'm not earning any money off it. And that's the excuse they try to use. So with that said, the Skinny Podcast with Joey Merlino is now, they're making a move to Patreon. Patreon will give them the freedom they need. It's a pay service so they could talk freely. And listen, I'm not a member of any Patreons. Not for me. This one I'm joining to support my friend, to support the show, and to support his message that he's going to be bringing to the people. That's very important to me. So if you enjoy his content and you want to support what he's doing, the link will be in the description to the Patreon. I think you'll enjoy the show. I would suggest joining it. And also, Joey and I are going to have a discussion tomorrow on my channel, and I'm going to put it up. It's going to be a pre-record. He and I are going to have a quick chat about this latest development so he could explain his position. I could add my 2 cents, and we could have a little conversation. Basically, it would just be like us talking on the phone to each other, and I want the viewers to hear it. I believe that'll be helpful for Joey to explain, what's going on, and also helpful for the viewers so they understand, and to introduce my viewership to what he's doing. I think it'll be good all along. So look out for that. I'm going to look to post it tomorrow We're going to have the call probably in the afternoon. I'll probably post it at nighttime. And so Joey and I will have a discussion. And again, I'm going to repost the links on the Patreon. If you support Joey, I would suggest, and his podcast, drop his link to the new Patreon. Maybe share his Patreon. Try to do what you can to bring attention to it. For me, that's what it's about. People that are friends of mine, people whose content I like, just try to support one another. And all the rest is white noise. Everybody has their own agendas on here. And if what you're doing doesn't align up with other creators, you just kind of move on and do your own thing. And that's what I do. Once I see things don't jive, I just move on, do my own thing, and keep pushing forward to get the message out that I want to get out. So again, stay tuned. Tomorrow, there'll be an episode on this channel. Joey and I having a discussion about his move to Patreon and what prompted that. And we're just going to talk about how it's so amazing how YouTube will look to censor his show, but not censor the Informant show. So a few things we're going to discuss, and we're also going to talk about my upcoming segment on his show and things we're going to be doing in the future. So like I said, 2024 is going to be a big year. A lot of things coming up. A lot of things coming up on the We Push Back side, on the Justice Tech Pro side. Constantly moving, folks. That's the trick. Slow but steady. You just keep moving forward. You don't get derailed. You don't get distracted. Just keep doing your thing. Keep moving forward. And whatever your goal may be, it will come eventually. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. Those who succeed keep pressing on. They're able to deal with adversity. They're able to keep moving forward. Those who fail had enough and give up. And we're not giving up. And another positive thing I want to put out. In my opinion, it's a good thing that Joe is moving to another platform, because what I'm going to do, I know they're trying to silence Joey, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to share every episode he does on Patreon on the community tab of both my channels. I'm going to also put a link on the We Push Back site to his Patreon so people could join on there. So that's all right. We'll still get the word out. Now we'll just get it out on different platforms. Now we added Patreon to a platform that Joey's going to speak his piece, talk about what's going on with the lying informants. I'll cover YouTube and other channels. We signed up on all different podcasts, Apple, Pandora. So don't worry. The word will still get out. We're just going to start flooding different podcasts and coming from different angles. I think overall it's going to be beneficial. It's now coming from different angles as opposed to one channel. It's going to be coming from all different platforms, bringing them together, sharing each other's different channels, really getting the word out there. That's what it's about, spreading it and putting it out there. So, again, if you support Joey Merlino, you support his podcast, you like what he's doing, start pushing his Patreon, introduce people to it, get people to know about it, and show them, you got his back. And that's it, folks. I'm excited for a lot of things coming up. Look for the episode tomorrow, and stay tuned. We're just getting started.